Minoxidil works, but here's what most people don't realize. Even if you're using it every day, you could still be sabotaging your results without knowing it. Today, I'm breaking down the hidden mistakes, the biological reasons minoxidil fails, and how to fix them before you lose more hair. Mistake number 1, and honestly one of the biggest, is using minoxidil while completely ignoring DHT. Here's the reality. Minoxidil is a growth stimulator. It helps follicles produce thicker hair and stay longer in the growth phase, but it does not stop the underlying process that causes most hair loss, which is DHT. DHT, or dihydrotestosterone, gradually shrinks genetically sensitive hair follicles over time. This process is called miniaturization, where hairs become thinner, shorter, and eventually stop growing altogether. So if you're using minoxidil alone, you're essentially pressing the gas pedal while DHT is still pressing the brakes. This is why some people see initial improvement, maybe thicker hair or reduced shedding, but then notice that thinning continues slowly in the background. To truly stabilize hair loss, you need to address both sides, stimulation and protection. That means supporting growth while also reducing the hormonal pressure on your follicles. Mistake number 2, misinterpreting shedding phase. This is probably one of the most common and most damaging mistakes people make. When you start minoxidil, some people notice increased hair shedding in the first few weeks or months, and naturally that can be scary. It feels like the treatment is making things worse. But biologically, what's actually happening is very different. Minoxidil pushes hair follicles into a new growth cycle. That means weaker, miniaturized hairs are shed earlier than they normally would be, making room for stronger, thicker hairs to grow in their place. In other words, shedding can actually be a sign that the medication is working. The problem is that many people panic and stop treatment right when the follicles are transitioning, which interrupts the process and prevents them from seeing the long-term benefits. Mistake number 4, applying minoxidil in a way that drastically reduces how much actually reaches your follicles. Most people think minoxidil works just by putting it anywhere on the hair, but it's not a hair product, it's a scalp treatment. If the medication doesn't reach the scalp, it can't do its job. One of the biggest mistakes is applying it to long or thick hair instead of parting the hair and applying directly to the skin. A lot of the product ends up sitting on the hair shafts instead of penetrating where it matters. Another common issue is applying it to a wet scalp. Water can dilute the solution and reduce absorption, making the treatment less effective. And then there's timing. Washing your hair too soon after application can remove the medication before it's fully absorbed. Ideally, you want to leave it on for several hours. Small details like these can make the difference between mediocre results and noticeable improvement. The rule is simple: dry scalp, direct contact, and enough time to absorb. Mistake number 5, ignoring your scalp health. You might be using minoxidil perfectly, but if your scalp is inflamed, oily, or clogged with buildup, the treatment simply can't reach the follicles effectively. Think of your scalp like soil for plants. No matter how good your fertilizer is, if the soil is compacted or unhealthy, growth will be limited. Things that can sabotage absorption include excess sebum or oil, dandruff or flaking, product buildup from other hair products, inflammation from irritation or scratching. Even mild irritation can trigger a cascade of inflammatory signals, which can slow down hair follicle growth. The solution: keep your scalp clean, healthy, and calm. This could mean washing regularly with a gentle or medicated shampoo, avoiding harsh chemicals or frequent styling products, light massage to improve blood flow. Mistake number 6, not knowing about non-responders. Biology matters. Mistake number 6 is assuming minoxidil works the same for everyone. Minoxidil is actually a prodrug. That means it needs to be converted into its active form inside your hair follicles to work. This conversion depends on an enzyme called sulfotransferase. The tricky part: some people naturally have low sulfotransferase activity in their follicles, and if that happens, the medication simply won't activate properly. So even if you're applying minoxidil perfectly every day, you might see minimal results. That's why two people can use the exact same routine, but one sees regrowth and the other barely notices a difference. Understanding this explains a lot. It's not always your fault, it's sometimes biology. And it's also why dermatologists often recommend combining minoxidil with other treatments like finasteride or microneedling to give follicles multiple pathways to respond. The key takeaway? If minoxidil alone isn't working after 6 months of perfect use, it's not necessarily a failure. It could be that your follicles simply aren't activating it effectively. That's when a tailored, multi-pronged approach becomes essential. The common thread, hair loss treatment isn't about quick fixes or guesswork. It's about understanding the biology, using the treatment correctly, and staying consistent over time. If you've been frustrated with hair loss, don't blame yourself. Most people are just missing one or more of these key factors. But now that you know, you can finally give your hair the best chance to regrow and stay thick. And if you want to go one step further, there are options like custom dutasteride formulas that block DHT, the main cause of male hair loss, while supporting growth with added ingredients like minoxidil, biotin, and peptides. These are designed for maximum absorption, convenience, and real results, and thousands of men are already seeing success. So here's what you can do next. Click the link in the description to start your free consultation. Get a customized hair loss plan tailored to your stage and goals. Take control before thinning gets worse.